Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest, and today I'm checking out another in the trifecta of TirTir foundations, the silver one. This is the semi-matte or semi-glowy version. What do they call this one? Hold on here. They call this one the Aura Glow. Now this, I've already looked at two other ones. So this is the mini size. This is the full size. The original red one that I reviewed is the matte version. This one was gorgeous. I loved it. The one I more recently reviewed was the white compact, which is the glowy version. Also loved it. I like the matte version more. It wears a little bit longer, and this is very glowy. So, you know, what is it, like the Three Bears? Maybe this one's just right. This one's supposed to be a little bit of glow, little bit of matte, semi-matte, and they claim it's got 80% moisturizing ingredients, great for dry skin. They say 28-hour wear. I'm not going to wear it for 28 hours, but I got the same shade in all three of these. I've got 21N Ivory, so let's take a look at this version of 21N Ivory swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from TirTir, the Silver Compact Aura Glow Foundation in shade 21N Ivory. Second, I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up is MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. And last, I've got from Wet n Wild, the Tinted Hydrator in Fair. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 49-year-old face. I've primed, if you call it primed, with the Lawless Forget the Filler Skin Plumping Lines Smoothing Perfecting Cream. It's really more of a moisturizer, but I've got a lot of peeling that is almost done peeling, but I had some sun exposure last weekend, blah, 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 blah. And I want to make sure all of any potential flakiness has been rehydrated and hydrated as much as possible. I've worn this under the other two TirTir foundations, so give it all an even playing field. I will go in on one side of my face with a damp sponge. These come from shopmissa.com. The Pawpaw not TirTir, Pawpaw. Why is everything repeating? The the AOA Studio, that's it. Sponges. They are $1.25 or something like that a piece. I buy them in bulk. They have like a bag of 6 or a bag of 10. Or I love these things. They're awesome. They're cheap. They're fantastic. They last forever. I literally have a whole drawer of sponges. And the other side, I'll use a brush. I have the Sigma F80. Just got this one. I think I mentioned already in a video, but I'm so excited to have all these. Tati did a very long, day-long live on TikTok where everything she was highlighting was 50% off. And so I got this whole bundle. It was 50% off, plus I was able to stack a TikTok coupon on top of it because it was my first time buying from Tati's shop. So all of these brushes were $31, free shipping. Like, there's an eyeliner brush, there's a shadow blending brush, and we got two brushes that are face brushes, could be foundation or powder products, whatever, and another Sigma F80. This is the F80 Air. I already have the regular Sigma F80 Kabuki, flat top Kabuki, but I'm very excited to have a new one. So we will use that. Now, of course, I can't do a drip test because this is a cushion, but this is the mini size. It does come with a little foam applicator. I don't use the foam applicators unless I'm like traveling and I don't have a sponge with me. Be careful with these TirTir compacts because there's no real satisfying click to let you know that it's completely closed. So you really want to make sure you press it closed when you close it because they will dry out and then you're sad because then you can't use all your product. And that's tragic. So I'm just going to take my damp sponge, bop it into the cushion, and let's do one side of my face. I feel like this one is coverage on par with the first one. The original, well, not the original. Let's call it the red one and the white one. The red matte one and the white glowy one. I am going to use these as concealer as well. The red one had the most coverage. The glowy one had decent coverage, but not as much as the red one had. And you know me, I like my coverage. I don't like to see my sunspots. I don't like to see my freckles. I don't like to see the redness that pops up on my nose and my chin when I'm talking. Yes, coverage. Seeing some nice redness correction. Not quite as much coverage as the red one. I had all kinds of people told me that I applied too much of the red one. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can apply your makeup however you want. And I thought it looked beautiful. And it did. So wear it however you like. That's the moral of that story. Clinging a little bit to the dry skin on my nose, which actually that's new dry skin because my nose was not peeling yesterday or the day before. That's a really fast, easy, nice, pretty application. There's a bit of perfume to it. It's got fragrance. It's not very strong. And if it's like the other ones, it will dissipate. Let's try the brush side. Same thing. I'm just going to dip my brush into the cushion. And we'll stipple on some product. It is a little small to get. If you have a bigger foundation brush, you might have trouble dipping it in there, but it's nice to get a mini size because not only can you buy multiple shades, like if you do self-tan or anything like that, but it's also cheaper to test it out if you don't like it. Now granted, if you get it on Amazon, which is where I got mine, then of course you can still return it, which is nice. But this way you can test it out and you don't have to spend the full price for the full size not knowing if it's a product you're going to like or not, you know? This applies just as, little bit of shedding. First time I'm using this brush. Applies nicely with the brush. I don't think there's much difference in the coverage, really, actually, from side to side. So I would say apply it however you like. If you like a sponge, use a sponge. If you like a brush, use a brush. I'm going to try to build up just a little bit. Get the sunspots. I usually apply with a brush. I don't know why. Probably because I like coverage. Yeah, that increased the coverage a bit. Those sunspots are almost gone. Let's get the blue blood vessel over here. Get my under eye going. Is my forehead even? Yes. I could usually use a little more coverage on my chin. My chin loses coverage throughout the day, typically. Yeah, this is exactly what they said it was. And having experienced the matte and the glowy version, I feel like this is right in between the matte and the glowy version. It's got a little bit of a glow. They call it semi-glow. And I think that's exactly what it is. It's not super, super dewy. It's not matte. It's got a little reflect to it. I think that is some truth in advertising right there. All right, make sure you close it all the way. Give it a snug little and don't lose your little foam thing just in case you need it when you're traveling or something. Or maybe you like to use those things. I don't know. I just like a sponge better. All right, let's get a good look here. Let me zoom you guys in. Really, the only place I'm seeing anything that I can really comment critically on is that it does cling a little bit to the edges of dry skin, which that is not a surprise. Most foundations do. And when I say most, I mean almost all. That's just a thing when you have peeling skin. And my skin is more often peeling or flaking than not. So that is why I continue to test things even if my skin is peeling or flaking, because this is mostly my life. I like the finish. It's very nice. I think it is doing plenty nice for blurring texture and pores. Everything is looking, my skin but better, I would say. It's currently not settling into any lines. Any of the clinging to dry skin is minimal. It is not to a point that I would even worry about it at this point. I think it's not visible conversationally, and even I have to really get up close and look at it to kind of see that that's happening. A little bit on my chin, a little bit on my nose. We might have a little polka dot pore situation going on my nose, but I'm hoping that it's going to settle down and sort of melt into the skin as we put the rest of my face on. So yeah, decent start. Let's check the time. It's 1:09. I'm gonna call it 1 o'clock just so I remember easier. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with the silver TirTir compact. Did not set anything with powder. Everything blended just fine. Nothing has really changed. We're in a good place, I think. A little bit of clinging to dry skin on my nose and my chin, just a smidge, but I'm peeling, so there's that. It's not looking bad. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Here is what else is on my face. What's up, beauty? A first dip into the Desert Monsoon palette. When I ordered a backup of my Dragon Eye palette, I got their other two, so this is my first time dipping into Desert Monsoon. It is gorgeous. I ended up with far more of a dark smoky eye than I intended. I blame the Misfits shirt because my inner punk gets activated and then I do makeup. So this palette's gorgeous and I felt like I needed to wear green and purple at the same time. Again, I blame my inner punk for that. On the rest, no surprises. Essence bronzer. I love the red undertone to this. It's not super pigmented, so for lighter coverage days, it's lovely. Topped with, so I'm doing, it's the same makeup I've been wearing for a couple weeks now. The Electric Glow. This is a lip and blush color changing lip and blush oil, but I don't like it on the lips. It dries my lips out, but as a liquid blush, it's gorgeous. And it just works really well with the color of my beloved Lawless Juicy Watermelon. So I've been like setting it with the Juicy Watermelon and it just kind of hydrates the skin, gives a little bit of a glow. I don't even need to put highlight on because it just, this kind of gives a little bit of zhuzh to it because the Juicy Watermelon is more of a matte. And so that's happening. Again, loving the Essence Stay and Play Gel Liner as my tight line. Mascara is Polite Society. Make sure you close your mascaras all the way. You don't want those to dry out either. Brows, I've been playing with the L'Oreal Brow Lamination. It's not quite enough hold for me, but it still looks nice, so I've been using it. I'm going to stick permanently with my e.l.f. Brow Lift or the Maybelline, what is it called? I was going to say Super Glue. That's not it. Super Lock. Those are the two that do have enough hold for me. And my lip, I felt like I needed something more like 90s. I don't know why this isn't 90s makeup, but I don't know. It's just, my punk soul goes back to that era. And then, anyway, this is Jones Road in, I need Sherlock to help me. The lip tint in Cocoa Rose. This just feels like an updated 90s brown lip, but it's got a little bit of rose color to it, so it's that mauve-y undertone, and it works with most of the eye looks that I do. It's my favorite of the Jones Road lip tints, and I think that's all the things. So today I won't be going to get a sandwich because well, maybe I will later, but I have my D&D campaign, so I gotta go play my Dungeons and Dragons. That's gonna be a few hours, and then we'll see what happens after that. And maybe I'll get a sandwich, maybe I won't. But I will try to get you a daylight check-in on yet another gloomy day, but we're getting all these gloomy days without the rain. And we're in a massive drought here in Virginia. So if it's gonna be gloomy, would you please just give me some rain? Please, thank you. I'm looking past you, out my window. There's a window right behind you. But you can't tell that because there's literally no natural light coming in right now. All right, I'm gonna go do the things, and then I'll be back with a gloomy daylight check-in, and then I'll come back tonight, give you guys my final thoughts. It is 6:07 p.m., so we're around the 5-hour mark. Here we are outside, still no sun. Gloomy. Remember, I have no highlight on, so this is just the foundation, which I would still say is that medium glow, that semi-glow in between the red and the white one. accurate. I think we're still holding up okay. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of redness on my chin. So maybe the coverage isn't holding as well as the red one, but I think it's definitely holding better than the glowy white version. So here's our shade match. My face is not as dark as it's looking on camera because my neck is completely pale, so there we go. Holding up all right so far, I would say. There's the glow. All right. Is that thunder? Gonna go about my day. I'll be back in a few hours. 11:01 p.m. That puts us right around the 10-hour mark. Let's take a look at how the TirTir Silver Foundation, the semi-glow, semi-matte version, held up. Well, I think it was done with its useful life about 2 hours ago, which is kind of disappointing because I didn't go outside in the heat and humidity. I was at a computer most of the day. I didn't even go out to get a sandwich. So I didn't really do anything that would have affected the wear time, and it wasn't great. But at this point, you know, if that's not the only consideration, it's comfortable. Of the 3 TirTir foundations I've tried, I like the finish of this one the most. But the wear time of the red one, the matte one, is the best of the 3. This one probably wore just about as well as the glowy one, which is not great as far as longevity goes. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see what I'm looking at here. I only had to blow my nose one time. Man, will I ever get to the point where I can say I did not have to blow my nose? It's so rare. It's so rare. But, so there's a little bit missing on my nostrils. Ignore that. But it did settle into the polka dot pores on my nose that I was worried about. My chin is pretty much a hot mess. It kind of just gunked up and gathered in certain places, also clinging to the edges of dry skin. But that's forgivable if it's not making it look super worse. It's not making it look super worse, but a little bit worse. Blush, bronzer, highlight are still fairly well intact. It hasn't really moved around on my forehead at all. It's not really caked up there. It really just moved around a lot on my chin and my nose. They don't look great. If you caught me a couple hours ago, they did not look quite as worn as they do now. So, of the 3 of them, I think the red one gets my highest recommendation. However, of the 3 of them, this is my favorite finish of them. So if you don't need it to wear for a super long time, you know, if 8 hours, 9 hours is good enough for you, then this might work out. If I had to give a grade to the TirTir foundation in silver, the Aura Glow version, I'm going to go A-. I think it's beautiful. I just wish it wore longer. It's good for dry skin. I don't feel any drying issues. Very, very comfortable. In fact, I did think throughout the day that my face feels really smooth. Like, my skin feels nice with this foundation. So, don't get me wrong. It's good. I just wish it wore a little bit longer because I do like the finish the best of this one. Yes, I redid my nails. I decided to start making my way toward an almond shape. I don't quite have all the length of this hand. 2 of my fingers are still short. This hand is better. Only one of them is short. But I don't have quite enough length to go all the way to almond shape. Changing your nail shape is kind of like cutting bangs. You don't know if it's going to be good until you do it. Sometimes you regret it immediately. Sometimes it's lovely. And I guess I was just pressing my luck because cutting bangs for me this time, gosh, it's probably been 8 months now? 9 months? A year almost? I gotta look that up. So bangs were good for me this time. This is gonna be good. I think we'll get there. I just need to grow them out a bit more. Anyway, that's why my nails are different. Because I changed my mind. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. Have you tried all the TirTir foundations? I think there's another one. So here's the thing. I ordered another one in the Amazon Day, not Amazon Day, the Prime Day sale. And I don't know what the heck I ordered. Because I thought there was a pink one, and I think this is a pink one. But I'm pretty sure that what I ordered is actually a refill and not the actual foundation, because it feels squishy. I don't know. I think I ordered it doesn't say it's a refill, but is there a pink one too? I gotta look on the website on Amazon and see what the heck I ordered, because I think it doesn't say it's a refill though. But I remember looking on it and they didn't have 21N, and so I got one shade lighter because I thought 21N was a little darker, but now I think I should have gone the other direction because this is about as light as I can go in this. I don't know what this is. If it is in fact another version of TirTir foundation, I will review it. If I just ended up buying a refill of something I already have, well then I guess I just have a refill of something I already have. But have you tried these? What do you think? Which one's your favorite? Let me know down in the comments down below. And hit me up over on Patreon. I've got some behind the scenes stuff over there. I post sales. Like, that's where I had all my links to my Amazon Prime picks instead of doing a whole video on them. Let me know. Do you want to see more TirTir? Do you want me to check some of their skincare out? I'm kind of intrigued because these are some solid foundation products, and foundation's not the easiest thing to do well. So I'm intrigued. I am intrigued by this K-Beauty brand. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.